Yes, I'm Mike Peters, and I'm with the New York Times. I mean, actually, I'm not with the New York Times, but I read the New York Times.
A distinction of no
What is,
importance.
which is worse?
But Allan, you said that even if America cut its emissions, it won't mean anything for a lot of the other countries who aren't cutting their emissions. And my question or my point is, don't underestimate our effect in the world. Do you remember 15 years ago, America passed these laws saying you can't smoke in bars and stuff, and now all over the world they're doing it because we did it. So I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to.
Set an example. It's a good
Can
point.
I respond to that? Because I heard Tom Friedman the other day say we should do it and then everyone will follow us. Well, obviously we have excellent environmental laws that contain non-CO2 emissions, and that's why we have as good a air and water, et cetera, as we do, and it's been dramatically improved over the last 30 or 40 years. I don't know how many of you have been to Beijing recently. I can assure you they are not following our example, and that's the point. We cannot count on, they will not follow our example unless we make that part of the deal. We've got to work together. We've got to bring them to, they got to be at the table. India has to be at the table. Europe has to be at the table. The other 11 major emitters have to be at the table, and we all have to agree on doing it together.
I would just make the following point, and maybe Thomas Friedman already made it. If so, I apologize for repeating. I think I think to not do anything, it's clear if you go to China and say, look, why don't you guys bite the bullet, do these things, and they say, wait a minute, you're the biggest emitter and you're not doing anything. Why should we move before you move? It is important we work together, but let's not forget the opportunity there. There's a reason why, if you look at internet and computer-related stuff, the Silicon Valley is in Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley of biotechnology is either in Cambridge, Massachusetts, or South San Francisco. The Silicon Valley of a whole bunch of technologies are in the United States, but the Silicon Valleys of green tech and alternative energy are not in America. And that's because that's not where the demand is. That's not where the big market is. If we do control our emissions, if we put a price on carbon, if we put a focus on that, there's very much the opportunity for the U.S. to make that an engine, one engine of future growth. And if we don't act, it will never be that. It will remain in Germany and Spain, in the places where there's a lot of demand for that kind of thing. That's where they will develop the production technology. So I hope we don't forget that.
Just one other point on climate, which I think is important. I mean, this is, we've discussed this a lot within the Bush administration. What we need to do is develop the technology, the alternative energy technology that is CO2 clean, that is competitive with, carbon-based technology, and that's when you can easily convince the Chinese and the Indians to switch to that technology, and that's why it is so important that we make the investment in technology.